An explanation of ranked pairs method. On this page we see two different charts. The bottom chart shows us that we have three top candidates. The candidates are A through E. The top candidates being A, B, and C. They each have 3 wins and 1 loss. That's a telltale sign of a cycle, and that is indeed what we have here. So there is no Condorcet winner, but we can use ranked pairs cycle resolution method to determine who wins the cycle. So it's not a deal breaker for a Condorcet method. When there's no Condorcet winner, we can still figure it out. This chart shows the ballot types, where this group of voters said A is their first choice, B is their second choice, C is their third choice, and 10 voters were in agreement on this. There's 100 total voters. And also note that the voters who said A is their first choice, these two groups, they total 28. Voters who said C is their first choice, they're the second largest group with 26. And the B voters are the third largest group with 25. That's just some fun facts. And also on this page I have the pairwise comparisons listed, but I'm going to move this for a better drawing of it. And I'll refocus. So this is a matrix that shows the pairwise comparisons. Each matchup of candidates involving 2 candidates, and this is a less than sign to indicate that B is preferred on more ballots over A, versus the number of ballots where A is preferred over B is only 39 compared to 53. So B wins this matchup with a margin of 14. That number in the box is the margin. That margin is what ranked pairs uses to develop a list of the pairings in order. We'll develop a hierarchy. And as we can see, this matchup has the largest margin of 58. So that is the first one that we add on our scorecard to the hierarchy of pairings. We say A is over E, and that's the margin. And then the next largest margin was D over E with 49. The next largest was B over E with 45. Next largest A over D with 36. The next largest is C over E with a margin of 33. And then from that we can start to, on our scorecard, we can start in this scratch paper section, we can start to develop the hierarchy of the candidates. And this is, in the end, what will determine who wins the election, is who ends up on top. Now, we don't know how A, B, and C relate to each other yet, but we know A is over D, A is over E, all the candidates are over E, so the only thing we know so far is E is losing. And if you get confused by these arrows, this is a notation they use in this kind of a method, where the arrow means the same thing as a greater than symbol, where A has more voters than E, so C has more voters than E, B has more voters than E, etc. It's the same. If you think of these as an arrow, then they're drawn as an arrow over here. They point the same direction. At any rate, we can analyze the matrix some more to see which candidates won each matchup and go on down the list. So we were at this one, and we go to the one that's the next smaller margin, and that is 19, and the net one that's the next smaller margin is 14. So then we add those to our list, A over C followed by B over A, and that helps clear up the picture some more. So now if we redraw our candidate hierarchy, we draw B at the top because B is over A and A is over C. So the relationship between B, A, and C, that is now locked in, as long as B does not have losses to other candidates. We're not sure where D fits in yet, but we do know E is still at the bottom. And we'll continue. For completeness, we'll continue. It's pretty obvious right now B's going to win, but after the 14, the next largest one is 10, followed by 8, so that's B over D and C over D. I will add those to the list, B over D, C over D. So that clears up the picture on where D belongs. D does not belong next to C, but below C. And so this is the list we've established from these. The B over D was not contradictory with anything else. We'd already pretty much established that. Every result so far is compatible with the previous results. What ranked pairs method tells us is when we get to a pairing that is contradictory to a previous pairing or the previous hierarchy of candidates, then we have to ignore it. And that is what happens when we look at our final pairing, the lowest margin, which is C over B. C defeated B by 4 votes. So we can go ahead and add it to the bottom of our list, C greater than B. But that is contradictory to the previously established hierarchy, and therefore ranked pairs says, did it refocus? Anyway, C over B gets crossed out. That's how it works. You ignore that defeat that B has, leaving B as the only undefeated candidate, and B is confirmed as the election winner. B wins.